welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Alexis. I do have an introduction video for those who are new here. You can just go back to my main page in my YouTube channel and you can just click on the introduction video and you can learn a little bit more about myself. So in today's video, I will be going over the AADSAS application, the AADSAS application. The one where we all have to fill out in order to get into dental school or be considered an applicant. So mainly I want to go over the supporting information tab in the application. I feel like that is the most important tab in there. And if you don't know what you're doing with the supporting information, it could kind of hurt you because this is where admissions really gets to know you as a person. And this is also where your personal statement is going to be. So under the supporting information tab of your application, it starts off with evaluations. Evaluations basically is that committee letter that you work on with your school. It's kind of through, like, if you have a pre-health, pre-law advising, you'll go through them to get that committee letter done. If your school does not offer the committee letter, then it's best that you do get those 2 science professors and a dentist and then somebody else. Personally, I had 2 science professors and then 2 dentists that I shadowed because I did shadow 2 general dentists. The next section of your supporting information section of the AADSAS application is the experiences section. So when it comes to experiences, this goes for pretty much everything that you've done in undergrad. Okay, not everything, not like if you rode a bike to class, no. I'm talking about if you volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club, if you were a tutor, if you worked at Forever 21. These are kind of all experiences that I had put down. So yes, you're going to put down everything. Every volunteer event, if you did it through the pre-dental club at your school or through the volunteering group at your school, it's really up to you whether you want to split that all up or however your volunteering came about. It doesn't matter how many experiences you make. I feel like the more the better, but you don't want it to be redundant at all. Like, don't repeat yourself. Try not to do that. And then also in the descriptions of your experiences, make sure that they are short, sweet, and to the point. We already got most of you from your personal statement. These are just quick bullet points that they're going to go through probably right before your interview, during your interview. So you don't need to go and write an essay in each experience section. So number 1 experience you definitely need to have in your dental application is shadowing. None of us can get into dental school without any shadowing. There's no way that you know that you want to be a dentist without actually watching a dentist. At the very least, you need 100 hours of shadowing to get into dental school. And this is something that I learned, as a reapplicant. So in 2017, when I applied, I had 20 hours of shadowing. That was just not okay. And I only got 1 interview from it. Ultimately, I was waitlisted and then I never got into school. So I feel like that is one of the big reasons that held me back from actually landing interviews. Because the one school that I did land an interview from, shadowing wasn't something that they were big on. They felt like you would learn dentistry in dental school. But the majority of the dental schools do not think that way. You must have 100 at least shadowing from a general dentist. You can shadow a specialty, but it's really great if you get the base of your shadowing from a general dentist first. And then also, if you are going to get your letter of recommendation from a dentist, which you need to have, so that's another reason why you have to have shadowing, make sure that that letter is from a general dentist as well. Okay, so other things to include in your experiences section would be if you went to an impressions event or if you went to a summer health program at a dental school, or you went to one of their AADSA, I don't know why I said it that way. If you went to any of their AADSA events, this is something that I would put under academic enrichment. I think I went to 2 AADSA pre-dental days and I put them under academic enrichment. If you went to anything that was, volunteering with dental that's dental related, say like a mobile dental unit or Mission of Mercy, which I know Mission of Mercy is in pretty much majority of the states in the US. Um, I would put that under dental experience. And then the shadowing as well would be under dental experience. If you volunteered anywhere else, say like Give Kids a Smile, the Boys and Girls Club, the soup kitchen at the homeless shelter, this would just go under regular volunteering. And everything else is kind of self-explanatory. So if you have any research, again, yes, include it in your personal statement, but then go back into your supporting information and put it under research. Do the same thing that you did in your personal statement, put the title of your research, what your research was about, and if it was published, make sure you write that in the description section. And then also any employment that you've done. If it was Uber, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, retail, McDonald's, make sure you are including your employment. Yes, it's okay if it's not general related. At the end of the day, this is showing the admissions committee that not only did you take on all of those classes each semester, not only did you do all of those volunteering, those activities, those e-boards, and of course the shadowing, but you were also working and earning money. So this is just another way to show them that you will be able to, take on the heavy course load of dental school. So to give you a kind of idea of how many experiences I had, I did have like 20 at the time that I submitted my application in July. My roommate, she had about 30. So there's really no limit. But there is something that you can do in your experience section. So yes, you can have 19, 20, 30, 40 experiences, but you're only given 6-star or 6 favorites. The favorites doesn't really mean much. It doesn't mean that they're only going to see the 6 ones that you starred. No, those are just going to be the ones that are going to go at the top of the list in that PDF file that is going to be downloaded by all of your interviewees from the AADSAS application. So you're just going to pick the top 6. So I would say like your shadowing, if you did research, a really great dental place that you shadowed at or volunteered at. Those would be the things that you kind of want to put at the top. Something that is very meaningful and something that you can really expand on in an interview if it were to have been brought up. Okay, so lastly, in your achievement section, this is a place where you would write down any scholarships that you've received. Say you received a scholarship when you first got into your undergrad university. You can put that there. It shows that you had good grades in high school, blah, blah, blah. They don't really, it's not something that you must put in, but if you have it, it's a good place to put. If you got any scholarships after you started undergrad, definitely include that. Definitely write why you got the scholarship, what did you have to do to get it, if it was like GPA related. Like make sure that's really good things to write. So make sure you put that in there. If you got on the dean's list for multiple semesters or even if just one semester, this is another place where you'll put the dean's list. Now, if you did get it in multiple semesters, it doesn't make sense to be repetitive and keep making a new tab for dean's list. Just write dean's list and then in the description box, write which semesters and years that you've received the dean's list. So say for me, for example, I put spring 15, spring 16, spring 17, fall 17, spring 18, So it's just something really quick, but it just highlights all the times that you did get in the dean's list without being so repetitive and creating a long PDF for no reason. Another great thing to put in your achievement section would be any honor societies that you've joined, say like Phi Eta Sigma or I can't really think of any. That's the only one I'm in right now. So this is also a great place for you to include any honor societies that you were inducted into, or if you did any honors with your university, like university honors or honors in the major, write which honors program, and then write a good description of why you received that type of honors and how did you receive it, something like that, so they can just understand if it's not something that's universal. Of course, if you have any licenses that can be tied to dentistry, this is also the place to put it. I have a couple of friends who did get their license in CPR training. So if you do have that would be a place to put it. If you have your dental assisting license, this is the place to put it. When I applied, I didn't have any, so I kind of just skipped this section. So in my next video, I will be getting into more detail of how you can choose schools to apply to. Dental school admissions process is actually extremely expensive. I've spent almost $5,000. It has to be more, but I spent almost $5,000 applying, going to interviews. Oh, it's definitely more because after deposit, yeah, I flown by that $5,000. So it's really important that you pick schools that are meaningful, but I'm going to get into that in my next video. And so I hope you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining me in this video. I hope it was very helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share.